Hello, podcast fans. Adam Carolla here. I'm leading the fight against patent trolls who are threatening this medium. It's not about me. It's about the podcast you're listening to right now. If I go down, this show could be next. Visit fundanything.com/patent troll for more information on how you can keep podcasting alive. Thank you and mahalo.
This episode of More Stories is sponsored by Nature Box. That's right, Warriors. Order great tasting, healthy snacks right to your door. Forget the vending machine and get in shape for summer with healthy, delicious treats like everything bagel sticks. Support this podcast and get half off your first month. Go to naturebox.com/MOHR, naturebox.com/more.
When shopping for car insurance, consider this. Geico has been saving people money on car insurance for over 75 years. So if you're serious about savings, it's simple. Go to geico.com. After 75 years, they know how to save you money.
Put your name on it. Just put your name on it. That's all I say. Be a man or a woman. Put your name on it.
Well, I'd like to hear about it, potheads.
How the fuck you gonna know how to be great if you don't study greatness? Look at the game change.
Donuts.
If you wanna battle, it's either that you will or you won't.
You know, you're not a bad-looking man, Mr. Gals.
But you are, Blanche. You are in that chair.
There's something wrong with us. Something very, very wrong with us.
Hey, man.
Are you guys done being nerds now?
We're done.
Jordan Brady on More Stories podcast. Audrey
so
are flattered.
Flattered, man. Yeah.
Well, I'm flattered. I want to push this movie, I Am Road comic that's coming out because it's high time somebody pointed out life on the road for comics. Nobody. I mean, the movie Punchline, they had like lockers.
That's what everyone says. Every comedian will tell you there are no locker rooms in the basement of the club where you would keep your piano key tie.
Yeah.
Or puffy jacket.
I just like that Sally Field comes out of nowhere and she becomes the funniest human being alive and gets like 14 Tonight Show appearances in about 2.5 weeks. Like,
Sure.
Hey, man, when you got it, you got it.
Well, you know, she was pent up inside. She had a lot of comedy to unleash. And the club, the local club, provided her the outlet.
And a locker.
And a locker.
For a piano key tie. It is amazing when you look back. Jordan Brady at I Am Comic Movie is his Twitter. Most people have their name as their Twitter account, not Jordan Brady.
No.
Jordan Brady's all about the work.
Well,
Movie.
There was a first movie called I Am Comic
Yeah.
that made a little bit of a splash. And this is somewhat of a follow-up, but I didn't want to start a new Twitter handle.
Right. Why would you?
You wouldn't. You'd
But
be a
you
big
don't feel
diss
the
to
need
the followers.
You don't feel the need to have like just Jordan Brady, like to get the attention for yourself.
No, I'd be lying to you if I said I'm out of the Jordan Brady game because I'm always selling Jordan Brady. But I'm about the product.
Break it down, brother.
I'm about the product.
You can see Jordan Brady at the Crenshaw swap meet selling Jordan Brady merch. Hey, man, Jordan Brady T-shirts, 2 for $5. Come on.
2 for $5. On the way out, the flea market, we're really moving them. They're like 4 for $1.
Yeah, it depends if you win or lose the game. If you got back-to-back Jordan Brady championship T-shirts, instead of shipping them to a third world country, you're like, look, I'll just give you $1 a piece. Have at it.
We just went to my wife and I went to the Jurassic 5 concert, hip-hop band.
Yeah, they're from Crescent Heights down there.
Oh, it was a great show. And on the way out, yeah, the shirts were 2 for $10.
I did a joke in my act about Snoop. Actually, my wife wrote the joke in my act. She writes, well, more than half of it. It's nice when you're sleeping with the writer.
Wow, that's good.
She said Snoop had to change his name because he changed his name to Snoop Lion, remember?
I remember.
But
when he went through his reggae phase.
In Jamaica, man. That's just alarms in the house.
It's like
so
a
nobody...
children's toy.
Yeah,
Just went off.
it's good.
I love it.
But she said he had to change his name back because probably the first time he took the stage, it was hard to go, roar, roar, Snoop Lion's in the motherfucking house, roar, and all the backup guys got to learn the new lyrics, roar.
6 in the morning.
I asked her if she wanted to go see Snoop. She said, yes, but I need 2 seats. And I said, why? She said, 1 for me and 1 for my hands because I'll be waving them like I just don't care.
Oh, that's funny.
Rap concerts start really late. Did Jurassic 5 get off on time?
Yeah, they did because it was at the Greek.
Oh,
and they kick you out of the neighborhood fast.
It's a curfew.
Last summer I took. I know you had Ice Cube on the show. That was a great podcast. Listeners, you can go back and hear that one if you.
Damn straight. Get that More Stories app.
Oh man, and just the fact that you had Ice Cube. That's a great guest.
We did a movie together, and he was like the hardest working man I saw. Like everything you think you know about the guy. Like I'm in my trailer, and then I go I worked a little bit because I just played like his friend. The easiest job in the world in show business, you know this because now you're a director, is to play the friend.
The friend is the best.
Someone's in there for 2 months every day, 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. You show up for 6 days, bang out all your scenes, and you smoke a ton of grass in Vancouver.
That's the life of the best friend.
That's what I did in that movie. And I remember I got so high in my hotel room in Vancouver, I thought, you know what? No one's ever written a book about what it's like to just sit in a movie, the waiting, the process. And I'm here with Ice Cube from NWA. This is I'm going to write. So I'm going to take a couple hits. This is back in the day, you know. And I got pretty baked. I didn't realize how baked I was. Try spelling Canada when you're high. Way hard. It's always Canada. And I defy you to get stoned and spell Cincinnati if you're not from there. Even if you're from northern Kentucky. Cincinnati's a tough hustle baked. I came back to my trailer the next day. I wrote for like 3 hours. I'm like, this is going to be the book that is like the first behind-the-scenes, gritty, grimy. This is what it's about. And I go to my trailer, I open my laptop, and it was literally one paragraph. The whole thing was underlined red, spell check.
That's hilarious.
3 hours. It was like, I'm in Canada.
You wrote high, but you edited sober, like Hemingway.
Yeah, I was exactly like Hemingway because right after that, I fished in Puget Sound, and then I blew my brains out.
Right,
and you're speaking to the ghost. I rose on the third day like Christ.
You are very Christ-like. You're not just a friend though in the movies. You're the power friend.
I like that.
You know what I mean? Because you have a presence. I'm not bullshitting. I've watched your career since we were stand-up comedians back in the day.
Yeah,
and I've always been so happy when I see someone from our graduating class of the club scene go on to do great things. And you went straight to the top. You hit the mother lode, man. It's great. And so I'm so happy for you.
Thanks.
And your presence on screen. And sometimes playing a prick. Right? Sometimes playing.
Yeah, a lot of the time. I almost became the next Rutger Hauer. I had to tap out and join Ghost Whisperer to cobble the female audience back to think I'm a nice guy.
But what a great time. You know, who was it? David Leisure. I did an episode of a show once, a sitcom. And he was
Joey Suzu.
Joey Suzu, yeah. He was on, it was like Empty Nest. This is going back in the 80s or 90s. And he was the friend on a sitcom, which was like the perennial great gig. It wasn't just 6 weeks on a movie or 6 days on a movie and leave. It was season after season of just hanging out. He had one of those solo flexes in his dressing room. He had things delivered. He was reading books and scripts.
Yeah.
You could have a whole nother life.
Yeah.
They knock on your door, you go do your line, you go back.
If you're going to be on a sitcom, you definitely want to be Larry, not Jack.
Yeah.
You want to be Larry and go, hey, I got some flight attendants upstairs, Jack. And then Jack has to do that episode where there's that weird misunderstanding between him and Chrissy on Three's Company?
I'm not recalling the episode.
That one?
That one time?
Or that episode of Dr. Phil where he does country homespun wisdom to solve a couple's problems. You know, it always made me crazy when I watched Three's Company. All Jack Tripper wanted was pussy. Like, the whole thing was pussy, 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 pussy. Then he's out to eat, and a lady touches his knee under the table. He goes, he's got to figure out a way to, like, sneak out through the fucking air conditioning shaft.
What I like best is you touch my knee here on the podcast to be into the character.
Well, I'm trying to have sex with Jordan Brady because he's a big movie maker.
I love it.
You got what I like about you coming on the More Stories podcast is Jordan Brady at I Am Comic Movie makes really good movies, but these documentaries, it's got to be weird to go. First of all, the transition from stand-up comic to director, why? You were a really good stand-up comic, so I never understood why you... Well, I'm being serious, and I never knew why you tapped out.
I don't know, man. I think I don't think I was good enough at the level of the greats, and I started hosting television shows and directing on shows, and I wrote a movie, and it just sort of transitioned behind the camera, and I really enjoy it.
But how do you, like, the thought
it wasn't like I woke up one day and went, no more stand-up for me, I shall be a director.
Show business let you know.
Yeah, it just happened over the course of a few years.
There's
not like a wheel with all these different careers on it. I'm going to spin the wheel and pick a new career. Tick, 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 tick,
right.
Tick, 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 tick.
But you just say transition to directing like it's nothing. But the idea of directing, to me, I'm like, oh my God, I don't know what I'm doing. I got to get a great cinematographer to cover my ass. I got to get a unit production manager to keep everything in budget. I need somebody from the studio standing over my shoulder telling me when I'm running out of time. So how do you go from comic? Like, what was the first thing you directed? How does that happen?
Around, I think you and I both did some MTV stuff.
Yeah.
Back in the day.
I did Lip Service.
Lip Service.
Yeah.
I love Lip Service.
It was a fun.
I
gig.
mean, that was a hit, man. People loved going on and making
like
a fool of themselves.
15-year-old Asian girls lip sync the songs they don't know. That's the show. That's the show for you.
So then I did some promos when I was at MTV, and then Comedy Central I did some promos, and I did a kids show at NBC, and I started directing that, and I worked with even just journeyman cinematographers who pointed the way and said, "Oh, this is what you got to do," and then you start editing shit, because when you're starting, one, no one will write for you, and no one will edit for you. Like if you're on the show, you can get someone to shoot it. So I had to work hard. I mean, I spent a lot of hours in the editing room and learning how to edit, because that was the way to learn how to put a story together as a director.
And you had a lot of at-bats, too. I mean, you talk about The Friend. I mean, you were on Parker Lewis Can't Lose, for crying out loud.
Oh, wow.
You've been on a lot of shows. That's one off the top of my head.
That is crazy.
But, I mean, you did do a lot of, best friend stuff.
I did a lot of stuff. Parker Lewis was my first time playing a grown-up.
Whoa.
I played a young teacher.
Aww.
Altruistic.
Or Triscuit. Depends on how hungry you are.
I did a Triscuit commercial. I do commercials now.
Perfect. Wow, you do good segues.
And get this. I kept saying, I love the Triscuits. Triscuits are great. And, everybody on the airplane, when they put that seatbelt light, you can take it offline, everyone's going to get their box of Triscuits from the overhead, from their backpack, their purse, and everything.
You're directing this commercial?
I'm the director of the commercial. And the head guy from Nabisco goes, "I have to stop you right now. You've been doing this for 2 days, and it's driving me crazy, Jordan. It's Triscuit, singular." And I said, "What do you mean?" He goes, there is a Triscuit, there is a bowl of Triscuits. No, it's always singular. And this guy was so fucking serious about it.
Douche.
Yeah, oh, yeah. I mean, you hear on commercials, I did a McDonald's commercial.
No one knows that but him.
No one knows. And I said, it's its own plural, like fish or deer.
Could I have 700 Triscuit, please?
Triscuit. May I have a handful of Triscuit from your box of Triscuit?
No, you know what? I just want one Triscuit.
You can have it.
I don't want all the Triscuit.
Doing a McDonald's commercial one time, swear to God. We couldn't get the horn thing to say "stay on the pony." It was a Happy Meal.
The horn?
Well, because it's a fantastical creature. And the client said, "Why can't we afford a real unicorn?"
Oh, that's the best. Really?
You know what I said?
What?
They're extinct.
I bet he tried
straight face.
Did he try to play along like, that's right?
Oh, yeah. Oh, really?
I thought there was a couple in South Dakota that they keep in the zoo out
for
there.
the Barbie movies.
It is amazing the things you're told on a set. I was shooting a pilot at Universal in the back lot, and we're throwing a football around. There's a football field up there, but a Gibson Amphitheater. And I remember in the pilot we were doing, it was like a homecoming football game, and the mascot was a goat, and there was hijinks where we all put LSD and mushrooms in the goat's trough, and the
hijinks and a goat kind of go hand in hand.
Perfect. How it didn't get picked up is beyond. It was called Community Service. It's where I met Todd Stashwick and other great people, and David Israel is a great writer. And
he's a classic writer.
He's great.
He's an old-time comedy writer, David.
Oh, yeah. Real good. He's a Mets fan, so he obviously doesn't have any goddamn common sense. But the goat is tripping balls, and she starts attacking everybody. That's the scene. So we're throwing a football around between takes, and I crack my, not sprain, I hear a crack my ankle. So I cracked my ankle and tore my meniscus. And I'm laying on the field where you can't even go ow. It hurts so bad. There's no air can leave your body. Nothing can come in.
It's more about
nothing. Just completely immobilized because you're did I break my back? Am I paralyzed? Can I move at all? And finally they get me carted up. They get me to where I can actually get in an ambulance to go to urgent care. And the director goes, you know what? Take Jay to the hospital. I have the goat until 2. Like everything's fine.
Right.
And
the
then
show must go on. The shoot continues.
Then you go to a hospital and there's that pain chart next to your bed. It's like 1 through 10. The number 1 is like a complete happy face. Number 2 is a happy face, like with a little shading around the cheeks.
This is in the pre-emoji era.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jordan Brady. Crystallizing my thoughts eloquently, a la Paul Schaefer and David Letterman. So, like, it's not even to, like, number 5 that the thing even has, like, a straight face, not a happy face. And then, like, number 6, he's, like, kind of bummed. Number 10, his hair's on fire. He's bright red.
Yeah.
So the doctor comes in and goes, on the pain chart, what number are you? And I want to, like, for me, it's a fucking 10. That's why I'm here. I broke my ankle. It's a 10. But then I thought way too much, Jordan Brady. I thought... Used to doing radio. See, I got to reset for the new listeners.
You work the name in.
I overthink it. I'm like, well, for me, it's a 10. That's why I'm in the hospital.
Yeah.
But I'm like, but if somebody came in here and lit me on fire, there has to be something above what I feel. So I'm like, you know what? And if
you could draw an 11, what would that be?
If it was one louder. This one's more
It's
hurt.
more pain.
This one's one more
It's
hurt.
much more pain.
More
See.
hurter.
That's funny.
More painful.
You know what I love about the garage here, the studios?
Fake Mustache Studios and my card table in my garage?
The obligatory 2 sheets of foam.
Yeah, I don't know what happened.
That are soundproofing. Because I love it. It makes it feel. You mentioned radio. You're saying the name.
There used to be a curtain. You know, you're really letting people behind the curtain. DIY wants to come in and like trick it out for like a man cave. Definitely gonna let them do it.
Oh yeah, you got to.
And then you flip the house and sell it with the brand new recording studio. Sell it to one of the alive traveling Wilburys.
How many are left?
Let's see. Petty, Jeff Lynne, 2.
Oh, wow.
I would say, no, Dylan's alive. Jesus Christ. And they all sound like goats, traveling Wilbury goats. Well, that's a
little goat.
Yeah.
We went to see Ice Cube. Speaking of Ice Cube on the show, great episode. Are we there yet? I took my 2 boys, Jake and Ben. They're 18 and 20. Last summer to the Greek. Wayne Fetterman went with us. He's an I Am Road comic.
I wish he opened.
Well, here's the show. De La Soul.
No one has
opened.
any idea how funny that actually was.
That is hilarious.
There's 8 comics right now going, wow.
Wayne Fetterman opening for Ice Cube. It was the Kings of the Mic tour.
Yeah.
And as we're going into the Greek, I tell my boys, I go, look, it's an old school hip hop show, so you're going to see a lot of black guys dad's age and a lot of plump white women. And they go, really? And then we go in, and my older son, Jake, who's very funny, like just naturally funny, he goes, Dad, you were right. There's a lot of corn-fed women here. A lot of corn-fed white women.
Smart young man.
Here with the brothers.
Yeah.
De La Soul opened.
Great.
And then Public Enemy came out, did some songs, Taking You Back. And then Ice Cube comes out. Now, the crazy thing was my kids know him from listening to hip-hop when I grew up, but they also love his movies. And so they were like, wow, how does he get into the head of Ice Cube the rapper versus Ice Cube the movie star producer guy? Like, what does he do backstage? Do you have any insight to that? I don't know.
I don't know. Well, on the podcast, he said it's all about everyone else that took the mic before him and letting them know, nice job, now step aside, let the king of hip-hop. Let the king of the mic take over.
Right.
So I guess and when you got to follow Public Enemy, holy shit. Chuck D doing Welcome to the Terror Dome. It's like, thanks a lot. Now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Ice Cube.
Well, guess who? He didn't even close. You know who closed?
No.
LL.
Uncle L. You want to know why I'm the greatest of all time? Because for 15 years I kept y'all standing in line.
Yes. Well, here's what was great.
Did he lick his lips a lot? That man needs some chapstick. My word.
He makes Denzel look calm with the lip licking.
Yeah.
Denzel, he gets all up in there. Do you do a Denzel?
It's hit or miss. It's hit or miss. And a lot of it's visual, so I don't know if it plays.
Right. But you were the first. Do that again? I stepped on you.
That wasn't good, so I'm glad you did. That's what you're telling me. That's what you're telling me, all right? No, it's not good. I either have it right away or I don't.
Right.
Pacino's the only one I've worked on and refused to let it go because I had too many actual Pacino stories that had happened to me. And I was like, I have to tell these on stage, but the impression was hit or miss. When we were filming down in San Pedro on a jetty, it's like you're from me to you to Pacino. And in the movie, he's a director, Simone, that no one has ever seen. He's a director, and I'm an actor that lied.
I've seen Simone.
Well, you're in the business. And I'm an actor that like broke into his office and lied to get the part. And he's like, "Are you going to tell me you lied? You didn't have faith in your talent? Why did you ask me, you cunt?" And he's talking, and I'm like, but right behind him is a seagull on a pylon. And the seagull is as impressed with Pacino as I am. The seagull's like right behind his head.
Seagull turns and looks.
He's looking right at Pacino like, holy shit, this guy's amazing. And then every time I go to talk, the seagull goes, like deafening. And this went on for like hours. And then I finally go to say my lines, and like for the 50th time, and the seagull goes, guy. And I go to throw a rock at the seagull to kill it. And then Pacino, as I'm going to throw the rock, he actually wraps his arms around me like in a bear. He goes, "Don't do that. What if he has babies?" "Did you ever think of that, Mr. Rock Throwing Man? This baby bird." I like how Audrey's holding in her laughter. God forbid people know you're having a good time.
And at some point,
baby birds wondering, "Where's my father?" Because you had to throw a rock.
When did Pacino become a Southern colonel? From the 1800s.
We talk about this in my house all the time because he has two voices. He started as Tyne Daly from Cagney and Lacey. "You know, we're Vietnam veterans. Killing don't mean nothing to us. Attica, put the gun down. He wants to. NEW, we play all the hits. Wyoming is not a country, Sal. Never ask me about my business, Kay." And then right around the movie Heat.
Was it ooh-ha?
"Oh, everything gets real heavy on my back." And I think in Glenn Ross, there's a little bit of high. If you don't know the score, you keep your mouth closed. Where did you learn your trade? And then right around Heat. "Oh, I'm so tired, Betty Blanco from the Bronx. I'm so tired." Let's talk about...
Well, and now you were the first guy to do Walken.
What? No, I was the second guy to do Walken. Who was the first? There's always a guy that has to break through, and everyone says I'm the guy that cracked the code, but I'm not. It was Roger Kabler.
Oh, I know Roger Kabler.
I saw Roger Kabler at the Roxy, and he did Walken, and it's one of those moments in your life where you go, "Oh, I didn't know we could all do Walken. I didn't like." There's some celebrities that people do impressions of, like when I saw David Gee at the Improv here in L.A. do Alan Alda. I was like, I didn't fucking know you could do Alan Alda. Like it never dawned on me to do Alan Alda. So I watched Roger Kabler do Walken, and it was like watching a horse that needed to be like broken. I mean this in all complimentary senses because he's brilliant. But it was like his stand-up was so raw, like Rick Shapiro.
Yeah,
like it's so raw. It's just like watching a wild horse, and you're just like, bro, if I could just get this thing and run in a circle, I'm gonna make millions of dollars. But every once in a while, it just jumps the paddock walls.
That's hilarious.
But then I watched him do it, like, yeah, baby. And then on Saturday Night Live, they wanted to do a Walken sketch, so I did it. But then when I watch old Walken, I'm like, oh, this is really bad. My Walken's terrible. Now I feel it's much better.
You've worked on it.
Yeah. But you're really only doing an impression of a guy. Somebody has to do the impression perfectly, and then you have to do a parody of the perfect impression. Like Dana Carvey is George Bush.
Is the jumping off point for many a new mimic.
But he's doing the parody of the real guy who used to do Ronald Reagan on Hollywood Squares all the time. I forget his name.
Yeah, sure.
But like George Bush never went, not goddamn. Like it's a parody.
Sure. Ed Sullivan probably never said really big shoe, but I think it was might
have been Belzer.
No, it was Jordan. It might have been Frank Gershon.
I think it was Eddie Griffin. I am comic.
Wait, can I tell you a Roger Kabler story real quick?
Yeah, please.
So I do dabble in stand-up. Occasionally I go up and do stand-up. And I made these documentaries, and people say, hey, you can do 5 minutes, you can do 10 minutes, whatever. So I go and do this show in the Valley, and Roger Kabler's there. And the MC of the show says, oh, you can go up. And he hadn't done it in years. He goes on stage, and we get reacquainted after many, many years. This is last summer, I believe. And I said, I got to do you as Robert De Niro pitching Funyuns. So we shot a commercial, a fake commercial, just for fun. Roger Kabler, he brings his own nose. He's got the mole. And it's him for Funyuns, and he freaks out. I'll send you the link.
Please.
Because it's really funny. And my friends, because I put it on Funny or Die and on Facebook and stuff, and my friends that aren't in the business are like, what was it like working with Robert De Niro?
Yeah.
Oh, my.
He's
he
that
looks
good.
like him.
Yeah.
He's that good. I mean, De Niro is his... that's his go-to.
Yeah, if you do the link, and I'll tweet it out when this airs, but Cabler is one of those guys. And that's why I did Last Comic Standing. Like, people don't realize the funniest people in the country, you've never heard of them. Like, there's people right now going, who's Roger Cabler? And I'm picturing as De Niro, and I'm like, wow.
It's spot on.
Yeah, it's nuts.
If I made a documentary called I Am Mimic, would you be in it?
Yeah, I'm a little. You had 40 comics in the first one. I'm not sure how I missed the cut. I was looking at that cast of characters.
You were throwing rocks at the Pelican.
Yeah, you had Maron for 14 hours. That was fine. I like Maron, and I Am Comic goes on and on about.
He's an I Am Road comic.
I Am Road Comic.
Available for $5 at IamRoadComic.com.
Okay, IamRoadComic.com. This is definitely a movie you want to see because the comics are very honest about what it's like to be on the road. But there's guys like Maron who I don't understand where he gets this from. And he's been on the podcast, and we get along swimmingly. But like I always said, New York comics, they entertain whoever's in front of them. Mm-hmm. Apollo, Ku Klux Klan, jails, we don't care. LA comics kind of need like their crowd in front of them. It seems to me. That's my maybe way off perception, but in speaking in generalities, LA comics are like, nah, I'm not going to do that room. It's kind of not my thing.
Gotcha.
Where New York comics are like, if there's a fucking mic, I'm in. I don't give a shit because it's my job to make everyone laugh.
There's a more workmanlike ethic.
Your job
to
is
the
to
New
fix
York
the pipes
comedians.
if you're a plumber. Not like,
Sure.
well, I don't like that kind of architecture. I'm not going to go in there and fix the pipes.
Those fixtures, I'm not touching it.
Nah, I don't do that, man. But Maron said something about being on the road and keeping your integrity in the trailer that I saw, IamRoadComic.com for $5. And I was like, where is this myth that I think it's a complete myth? Because any headliner, you can't make a living staying at home. No one puts checks in your mailbox. You get on an airplane and go pick them up.
Right.
And Maron's about to find out, because he's a huge success with the WTF podcast and the show Maron on IFC. He's about to find out, like, no, you have to go there to go pick up the money now that they want you.
Oh, yeah.
But it's a myth. Like, when you go on the road, you get a little, like, road on you. You seem a little grimy. You're not as pure. You're not as genuine with the audience. And Maron said something that stuck with me. There's that desire to be accessible and to immediately please. And he almost said it like a negative on a road comic. And I'm like, no, that's the job description. Why is there that line of delineation between quote-unquote road comic and just good comic?
Well, the way I interpret it is in I Am Road Comic, available at IamRoadComic.com for $5. Limited time, like the McRib. It's not going to be $5 forever.
It's seasonal.
Yeah, because in late August, you're going to see it on Hulu. And then who knows where after that. But right now, me direct to the fan, $5. You can download it, own it, stream it.
Normally, you guys need to know this. It's $11, but because of the More Stories podcast, it's $5.
It's $5.
At
if you click on the Amazon link at the top of the webpage.
At jmohr.com?
At jmohr.com.
Funny you should bring
Buy
that up.
some stuff.
How about Scott? He didn't put his last name. Go to jmohr.com, click the Amazon banner. Jay, today I picked up a Canon Rebel camera for my
That's
beautiful
a good camera.
For fiance's birthday gift. Tiffany has changed my life in ways I never thought possible. She deserves the best. Thanks for the great podcast. Hope to see you in St. Louis sometime in the near future. Love, Scotty. I don't think your girlfriend wants a camera. Probably a diamond ring. Like, will you marry me? But if you want to get down on your knee and get that engagement Rebel camera, Scotty, go to jmohr.com, click the Amazon banner, and buy stuff. What was your interpretation of what Maron said?
My interpretation of what Mark Maron was saying in the documentary I Am Road Comic, and granted, you saw a snippet that was meant to tease and titillate people to download it.
Titillated.
In the entire 86-minute movie, whatever, 69-minute movie. I think what he's talking about is you can go on the road and live forever on the road, and instead of developing a point of view as a comedian, you pander to the crowd and do more hackneyed material, and a premise is not maybe as original because you're trying to be a crowd pleaser. Where what he has fought that successfully, I think, and has developed a comedic point of view that is unique, even while going on the road before he was famous and now with his fame. In fact, what I love about his fame, and I'm so happy for him, his success, is he's now able to draw his own crowd to the shows, as opposed to going to a comedy club that's there because it's a Friday night and we went to the movies last week. What should we do?
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, but what doesn't make sense to me, and by no means am I throwing Mark Maron under the bus. I'm just being honest with the director of the movie, I Am Comic, and I Am Road Comic, available at IamRoadComic.com for $5.
I Am Mimic, soon to be out 2015.
That whole when you tell me as a comic you have a point of view, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. What's my point? I've been doing comedy 29 years, and if you said on stage, "What's your point of view?" I would think you were an idiot for asking me.
Really?
What's my point of view? I think of nutty
comic
shit.
Voice.
I think of shit and I repeat it on stage.
Yeah, but isn't there a through line to your nutty shit?
Me.
Right, that's the point of view. You're a unique.
No, it's not a point of view. That's the speaker. That's the conduit.
It's
like
the singer, not the song.
Christopher Walken asked me, "Why doesn't your dog have a tail?" There's no point of view. The fucking shit happened to me, and I go in front of strangers.
Why doesn't your dog?
Why doesn't your dog have a tail? Where did it go? And I'm like, I don't know. There's no tracking number. Like They just bought a dog with no tail, and when she gets happy, she has to wiggle her whole ass. I don't know. But where did your dog's tail go? I gotta know. And he was serious. Like, that's not a point of view. Like, I don't know. If I asked Alonzo, all right, the comics, Jim Jeffries, Alonzo Bowden, Corolla.
Alonzo Bowden in I Am Road comic.
But if you asked him, what's your point of view on stage, do you think he would go, okay, my point of view is this? I know. Well, first of all, his point of view is very actually.
He does some political.
He's like, what the fuck is going? Everybody's out of their mind. Is I
people
guess
are
Alonzo's
crazy.
Point of view.
Let me explain it.
Probably the best joke writer I've ever seen in my life.
Let's say maybe the term. I mean, we're a little bit hung up on syntax, and you as a goofier, sillier guy, it's your brand of humor. It's Marc Maron's brand, his point of view as a person. You know, he's very self-expressive about. And he shares openly his wounds and concerns. Like that's his. I don't want to say it's a shtick because that has that sounds like it's disingenuous. It's ingenuine. Disingenuous. What's the word? You went to college.
Trisket. Disingenuous.
Disingenuous.
Why are you looking at her? I'm sitting right here.
Well, because you went to college.
All right. They're all reading the same books at college.
I didn't go. So to
you're not saying shtick is disingenuous.
I shouldn't even use the word shtick. I'm saying. A comedian, what he was trying to say and what comes across in the movie, because I think he's sort of the soul of the movie, and Pete Holmes is more the heart, and then T.J. Miller's like the Tin Man, and the he's in the end of the movie. I don't know if he's in the trailer.
I thought he was the werewolf.
He could be the werewolf.
If T.J. Miller knocked on your back door at 3:00 in the morning, and he had blood in his beard, it wouldn't surprise you.
He's great on that show. Do you watch it?
He's great all
Silicon?
the time.
He's funny. He's
trying to get him on the
goddamn
podcast, and I don't think he likes the cut of my jib for some reason.
Let's make it happen.
All right.
You know what? Maybe you don't like his point of view.
What point of view?
I don't even know what that means.
It just seems like hoity-toity, like horseshit to me. Like,
I don't know.
What's your point of view on stage?
No, I think it's a distinction between guys that pander on the road so that they can come back and work the circuit.
Right. Like when you play Cincinnati, you make fun of Louisville.
Yeah.
You go to Cleveland, you make fun of Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh the next week, you look
Cleveland,
back.
Gateway to Parma.
But I do that opening 5 minutes everywhere I go. I do that.
Well, that doesn't mean you're any less of a comic. It means you have a different cut of the jib.
It's survival.
Yeah.
Like it's something we can all agree on right up top. I'm going to go to the Inland Empire in August. I'll be at the Ontario Improv in August, and first 5 minutes I'll have like 5 minutes of 909 Inland Empire jokes.
Oh, when I did colleges, I'd pick up the college paper,
of course,
and the same jokes about the security guard and the cafeteria food played everywhere.
But isn't that your job? Like I don't.
It is your job.
But the comics in I Am Comic, the movie, the documentary you made, they're almost acting like, well, that's what road comics do. Like almost like here in the real world,
that is not the point of
view.
That is not the point of view of the movie. I can tell you because I edited it. You know who co-edited?
Oh, it
with
is
me?
your movie, isn't it?
Andrew Furtado.
Oh, that's why you're here, Angie.
Yeah, he
hooked
us up.
He hooked it up. Yeah, he used to sit where she's sitting.
Not as pretty though.
No.
You're much prettier than you, and probably a little smarter. He's a great kid. Great kid.
It's the best.
The movie presents all kinds of different points of view, but make no mistake, it is a love letter to stand-up comedy and work on the road. I don't talk about the theater level of Louis C.K. or Jim Gaffigan or even Brian Regan, who's doing theaters. I'm not calling that the road, and we could debate if that's the road. That is the road.
Oh, it is the road.
But I'm talking about clubs and bars and things like that.
But if you're going to headline nationally, you can't avoid going on the like everyone in your documentary
job.
Is a road comic.
Yeah, Doug Benson says, "Yeah, I'm a road comic. I go on the road, I tell jokes, I make money. That's the gig." And Mark Maron says in the beginning of the movie, he goes, "It's my job. I'm a comedian." Like by definition of being a comedian, you have to go on the road.
Who got in the fight?
Unless you get a Vegas gig like
Louis
Carrie Top or
or George
Louis
Wallace, best 10:30 show in Las Vegas.
Do you do a George Wallace?
Oh, I got so sick of OJ, I started drinking buttermilk. Your mama's so skinny, she takes a shit in her can of hot sauce. Listen, we got to hear the story about Billy Bob Thornton and Patrick Swayze getting in a fight on the movie Waking Up in Reno. Listen to these commercials, and then Jordan Brady has like crazy fucking stories for you.
Warriors, very excited to tell you about a new sponsor, Smarter Home Security. It's simply safe. I didn't think home security could be this easy. Look, I had a home security system, and when the alarm went off, I would call. There was a dispatcher in another town. I had to wait for some guy to drive an hour and a half to get there. I need my house to be safe right now, and that's what Simply Safe did. I wanted a system to protect my home for years. It was always a huge hassle. Most alarm companies, the same old story. Aggressive sales guys, ridiculous hardwired systems, long-term lock-in contract. I'm never going to sign one again. A buddy of mine told me about Simply Safe. I can't tell you how easy this is. I went online. I customized my system. A few days later, it's at my doorstep. I got it set up where when solicitors come to my door, my front yard gets lit up like you're filming Apocalypse Now, and they hightail it out of there. It's great. I am not a tech-savvy guy. I know nothing about tech stuff, but I swear, this thing was up and running in 20 minutes, and the people at Simply Safe made it very easy for me to learn. Best part, no contracts, around-the-clock protection. $15. Most guys charge 3 times that, and I can leave at any time. I'm positive, though, I'm going to stick with Simply Safe. Listen, I want you guys to have the exact same protection as me. It's very easy, and this is a really cool sponsor from my Warrior friends out there. SimplySafeJ.com. 10% off. And it's only, by the way, it's only $15, and they're giving you 10% off to $15. They're probably losing money on this. Take advantage of it now. SimplySafeJ.com. That's simply with an I. SIMPLI safe. SimplySafeJ.com. I'm going to say something that's going to surprise you, Warriors. You ready for this? You should be snacking more. That's right. You need to be snacking more. What's wrong with you? How can you tell me to snack more? I'm going to get fat. No, you're not. Here's why. As you guys know, I'm on a health kick. I lost 12 pounds, and in the middle of me losing weight, I discovered naturebox.com, and the pounds keep coming off. You know why? Naturebox.com gave me hundreds of delicious snacks. I mean, delicious. I don't feel guilty about eating them, and my body burns up the calories because it's stuff that's good for my body. 0 trans fat, 0 high fructose corn syrup. You're even going to find some of their snacks that are low on sugar, non-GMO, and without gluten, and they ship to you for free. There's always that cranky moment around 3 o'clock in the afternoon when you want some crazy snack, some chips, or something that's going to make you feel awful. Don't do it. Do what I do. Grab a peanut butter and jelly granola from Nature Box. It's delicious. No more hungriness, no more crankiness, and you can stay fit. Now I'm going to make you really happy. Ready? Try naturebox.com right now. You're going to get 50% off your first box. I think that's like half. Huh? What? Oh, yeah. Naturebox.com/more, MOHR. You should be snacking, but you got to snack the right way. Naturebox.com. Stay full, stay strong. Do what I do. Go to naturebox.com/more, MOHR. Half off. Good people, good deal. Don't whiff on this. Get it done. Get in shape. Naturebox.com/more. That's naturebox.com/more.
Geico presents Fan Mail to a Pig.
Dear Maxwell, first off, hope you are well. And I am. Seems like all you do is promote Geico's web and app abilities. And while I really enjoyed your last commercial where you talked about how I could take a photo of my VIN number and add it to my account all via my Geico app, I've got to think it doesn't leave you much time for anything else. Do tell. Sincerely, Miranda Morgan. Well, Miranda, thank you for asking. And this Geico spokespig does have time to do other things. For instance, I do love
VIN scanning to add a car. Just a tap away on the Geico app.
Warriors, everyone knows that when wearing a button-down shirt untucked, the length of the shirt is critical. Unfortunately, everyone also knows that finding a shirt that looks good untucked has been a little impossible. Untuckit.com has solved this problem. Untuckit.com. These are shirts made exclusively for men who wear their shirts untucked. Untuckit shirts are designed to fall to perfect length, no matter what your size. One of my listeners, Josh, wrote in, Dear JJ, I bought some shirts from untuckit.com, and I absolutely love them. I'm a shorter guy, so button-down shirts usually hang too low. It looks like I'm a 12-year-old wearing my dad's shirt. Untuckit shirts fall perfectly and just at the right length. Thanks, JJ, for turning me on to untuckit.com. That's it, my friends. Untuckit.com. Enter the promo code MOHR, M-O-H-R, and receive 10% off on your purchase. Get some untuckit.com shirts and wear them proudly. Again, untuckit.com/MOHR, M-O-H-R. The promo code is MOHR, and you get 10% off. Untuckit.com.
So, all right, you direct a movie called Waking Up in Reno, and you sent me an email earlier today. Oh, my God. Wait till I tell you about Patrick Swayze and Billy Bob Thornton on the set of Waking Up in Reno. You won't believe it. So it is more stories. Take it away, Jordan.
Well, yeah, and
Brady.
I don't want to throw anybody under the bus.
Fuck those two guys.
First of all, well, God rest his soul.
What happened to Billy Bob Thornton?
No, he's alive.
Oh, he scared me for a minute there.
No, Billy Bob's alive. Patrick Swayze, God rest his soul, he passed away.
Well, he was in the movie Ghost. It was he called his shot.
Yeah, it was a precursor to real life. But he wasn't a ghost in that movie, was he? Whoopi, who was the ghost?
He died.
Oh, he was the ghost. Yes, he was the ghost.
Demi Moore was forced to stay alive to work with Clay. I like in St. Elmo's Fire, speaking of Demi Moore, you'll appreciate that. Like, there's some people you can only tell certain jokes to. Like, I can never do this on stage. But just because Jordan Brady's sitting across from me, you'll be like,
I'm ready.
In St. Elmo's Fire, there's like the huge crescendo of the movie.
Yes.
When Demi Moore is going to fucking kill herself. And she does that by opening all the windows in her apartment and sitting in the middle of the floor. You remember that? And they're all like, "Come on, it's not funny." They're panicking.
She's going to kill herself.
She's sitting in the middle of the floor with holding her knees up to her chest, and she's wearing a long white like man shirt, and just all the windows are open. You could tell because the drapes are blowing in and out.
What was her mode of?
She was going to die from the elements.
Oh, just exposure.
Right, but it was like the previous scene. They're just walking around in like coats, but they're acting like she's in there on a block of ice with a noose around her neck. And it's hot out.
Put the gun down. There is no gun.
She's just sitting in the middle. I defy anybody to get a solution to this. But Demi Moore is in the middle of a room, sitting by herself with the windows open, and everyone is batshit crazy. Like, don't do it! Please! Close the windows. It's not funny. We love you.
Does that movie hold up if I were to watch it today?
I don't know, but now you're going to have to see that scene and go, oh, my God, Jay, you were right. I should have laughed harder. So Patrick Swayze and Billy Bob Thornton, one of which is no longer with us. The other one is no longer with us, figuratively.
Correct. First of all, the movie, Waking Up in Reno, should have been called, like, Waking Up on Showtime. It was horrible. And I take all the blame. I was a young, cocky director. I don't think Billy Bob liked me. Yeah, I don't think Billy Bob liked me. But it was thanks to Billy Bob that the movie got made.
Yeah.
And it was during the time when he was, he was with Angelina Jolie, but no one on set was supposed to know.
Right. And he weighed like 110 pounds, right?
Everybody know. No, he had dropped the weight. He was on a special papaya diet.
That's what I said. He weighed like 110 pounds.
Oh, yeah, I thought you said he was
super skinny. Because I saw him in an elevator in Vegas same time, and he came from the Wayne Newton show. We just happened to be on the elevator at the same time. He goes, "Hey, man, how are you?"
Oh, he's a friendly guy.
I said, "Great, you're very nice." I said, "How's your night going, sir?" And he goes, "Man, I just came back from the Wayne Newton show. It was a kick-ass show. Bought a whole bunch of hats. He had like 3 shopping bags of just Wayne Newton baseball caps." And he goes, "Take a hat, man."
He gave you a hat?
I go, "I'm all set." He goes, "My man, you're going to want this hat. It was a great show. Just have a hat. And if you got a girl with you, or you're with your folks visiting from out of town," like that was the sentence I knew. He had no idea who I was. "If you got a gal with you, your folks are visiting from out of town, take a couple hats for the family." I was like, all right.
This is pretty good. You haven't worked on Billy Bob. You're sliding into him. That was pretty good.
He's a good actor.
He's a great
underrated.
Actor. He's better than the movie. He's fabulous in it. He could ad-lib. I could throw ad-libs at him. He would go like that. I don't think he liked me. I think he was preoccupied during the film. But what was crazy, what I was going to tell you on More Stories, because that's the name of the show, is that I remember that they would have scenes, Patrick and Billy Bob would have scenes together, and neither one of them would want to be at set first to wait on the other one to arrive. So there was never fisticuffs, But it was like, hey, man, why am I going to wait on Patrick to come up here? Well, I mean, I don't understand why I got to wait on him. I mean, we should be up there. He should be up there. And Patrick, and I'm not making this, he had a police scanner in his trailer where he could listen to the walkie-talkies on set. And I can't do Patrick Swayze, but he would go, I can hear when you call Billy up to set. So why should I be up there waiting on him? I mean, I don't want to just wait around on him up there. So when I hear it over the walkie, he's moving, I'll come out of the trailer and go up there.
And that's just dick wagging.
This is pure dick wagging.
Because I'll tell you one thing. When I used to make movies, when I used to have Heat,
the Hot,
crossword puzzles, book on the iPad, never left the set. You know why? Because I go in my trailer, air conditioning's blasting, I lay down on that little couch, I start drifting off to sleep. Hey, we're ready for you. I'm like, fuck, this job sucks. I keep almost falling asleep. So then I just stay on set, so no one's ever waiting for me.
Never.
Because I don't want that to be the rep on me, because I run my mouth so much, I'm going to piss people off regardless. So at least I'm present. Crossword puzzles, books, and I eat all fucking morning. 6 a.m.
Oh, yeah. It's good food
11.
On set.
I never stop eating. You want to know why?
Why?
Lunchtime.
Take a nap.
Gone.
You got to figure it out. As a director, you snack while lighting. That's how I blew up like this. When they're lighting the scene, you go snack. And then at lunch, you either go over the schedule or maybe catch a few Z's. But as a director on a movie, you can't even take a shit without people. Everyone knows where you are. Like,
you have to sleep.
Here he is. See him. I see his shoes.
You have to sleep while shitting.
It's crazy.
That's how Elvis died. He fell asleep on the toilet taking a shit. They found 20 pounds of Vicodin in his colon.
So I don't know if that was the best story. I mean, I don't know if that was a good story.
I like the story because you wouldn't think Patrick Swayze would engage at all. Patrick Swayze strikes me as a guy that would just be on set waiting, not to give like a Steve Carell type. Like I don't care who takes how long. Like an idiot smiling at the sun. I'm just happy with life. I wouldn't think Swayze would get caught up in dick
He was
wagging.
a peaceful warrior. That's what I think he branded himself as.
Really?
Yeah, he was a peaceful guy. Peaceful guy. Billy Bob got pissed one time. I gave him some direction one time, and he was like, I got some awards and certificates at home that say I know what I'm doing.
Whoa.
That was kind of a dick thing to say.
In front of your crew, and then the entire crew goes,
everybody's like, ooh.
Yeah, because he's right.
He is good. He does. He's great.
And you're like, all right.
I said, do you have to play that card?
Did you say that?
Yeah.
And what did he say?
He goes, hey, man, he helped in many ways. I would say, hey, how would you attack this scene? He's directed some fun movies. Sling Blade, kind of a family hit.
I liked it. I
love Sling Blade.
My kids got it on DVD, the cartoon.
Yes.
Some folks call it a Kaiser Blade. Just little cartoon fish.
I was listening to your podcast, the one we're on now, and you were saying your son is going to be a brown belt. Is he a brown? Did he get it?
Next month he tests for his brown belt. Jackie boy.
The answer is 15. 15 is when your kids can kick your ass, but they may not know it until 17 or 18.
Somebody said how long before he's
You
able
said
to,
how long?
Yeah, 2 years.
Barry said, how long before? I do Mr. Haney when I try to do Barry Katz.
Mrs. Douglas.
I can't do him. But when my son Jake and we got into a little scuffle because I was pushing him to do homework. Not literally pushing him, but pushing, come on, you got to do it. What's taking so long? He said, stop. And I go, oh, you think you can take me? And he was 15. So we go downstairs, and I'm like, oh, you want to hit me? Because I was just an asshole, right? I go, oh, you want to hit me? And he just went, pop, and hit me in the sternum. And I lost my breath, like, oh! And I fell back on the bed. It was in the basement, little guest room there. And I go, oh! He just goes, Dad, are you all right? Dad, are you okay? And I prayed to everyone, Allah, Jesus, Buddha, I please not, Swayze, wherever you are, please, I cannot die by the death of my own son's hand. Please allow me to survive
literary.
this.
It's very Greg Isles for you to go out that way.
Oh, it would have been, And then we had atonement with the father.
So you didn't get up, and what did you do when you got up?
Got up and hugged him. He helped me up. We never fought again.
There's two ways to go about it. You either get up and drop your kid, which is frowned upon in court.
Sure.
I don't know why.
In California, anyway.
If your kid drops you in the sternum and you're laying there like, ugh, you think you can't strike him, but maybe you can put him in a headlock and just squeeze his ears real hard until he realizes, oh, wow, I'm losing consciousness. And then you just let go and you walk back up the steps. Or right when you said that, I thought, wow, you can't hit your kid, obviously. So I got the solution. Right when your son punches you in the chest, just make believe you're dead. Just commit to laying there for 2.5 days.
Right.
I want a coroner
smell bad.
to take your pulse and go, he's completely alive. His pulse is 74. And then you just go, you guys want breakfast?
Who wants waffles?
2 days, let that kid think he murdered his father.
Yeah.
And then that's another way of letting him know.
That would be a mind fuck.
Did you write for the ESPYs or did you direct the ESPYs?
No, I did nothing with the ESPYs.
You had a story about the ESPY, Arnold Schwarzenegger.
I did some commercials. Arnold Schwarzenegger was
the governor.
The governor. This was it was like a little promo thing for ESPN, and he had that movie with Johnny Knoxville. I don't think it did very well, but it was like they went back to the Old West.
Yeah, The Last Stand.
The Last Stand. That's what it was. And we had
Audrey on the mic on the Wheels of Steel. Alexa's on fire. I'm reading your shirt. Go on.
Audrey, very nice. We had 20 minutes. It was like a press junket, and he would go from room to room at the Four Seasons, and we had 20 minutes, and the people from ESPN had 4 scripts that they wanted to do in 20 minutes. He's reading the prompter. First of all, he travels with his own teleprompter person. And we already had a teleprompter.
I need this.
We set up a teleprompter, and Sally comes in.
Just put it in prompter.
And they took out his prompter and set her stuff up.
But that's like a brilliant expense.
He probably rents the kit, picks a few.
You're on the set of the movie. You go, wow, I got to learn my line. I got to get back to the hotel in Monaco. We're gambling, having a good time. I better get back to the hotel because I got 4 pages of dialogue tomorrow. No, you don't. It's all in prompter behind the jury's head.
Sally's got it.
You stand there, act like a lawyer, and it'll be right between juror 5 and 6.
Well,
wow.
Everybody is scared to talk to him. We're in this hotel room. We've got a green screen set up. I have an X on the floor. I go, get me 1 bottle of every kind of water. Put it on a stool. He can drink his own type of water. He'll go through. Just make it really easy. And there's a clear path from that door to that X on the floor. We had a stand-in, his body double. It was lit. He just had to walk in and read. So he comes in, and everybody ass puckers up.
Why is everybody so freaked out?
I don't know.
He seems like the easiest going guy.
He's so easy.
I got a video of him smoking a joint, talking about orgies with black chicks.
Really?
Oh yeah.
You should tweet that shit.
Well, everybody knows it. You're the only one I've met. In that old movie where he's just sitting there smoking a joint.
Oh, the documentary.
Yeah. I don't give a shit. You fucking impressed me, Arnold. You married a Shriver. That's impressive. Yeah. She goes to my church.
Why? I had a Thanksgiving with him way back in the day.
So that was your in?
That was my in. I knew I was going to. I had that card.
Right, so I derailed you.
So
again.
he comes in and makes a beeline. He goes, "All right, everybody. Good morning. What are we doing here?"
Perfect.
And I go, "Hi there. I'm Jordan. I'll be the director. You're going to stand right there. You look at the camera. You read what your teleprompter has put up there for you. And if you want to say whatever you want to say, you can say whatever you want." And he goes, "But Sally still needs to set up for yes." And I said, "Yeah, we just got word that our guy's not in. She's coming in. So I have 5 minutes." And he's this close to me. And he goes, "I'll be back." And he winks like right at me. And I go, "He said it, everyone. He said it. Let's give him a round of applause." And everybody gave him a round of applause. And he walks over, and they've got a spread at the hotel. Like, how many times has he said it? Probably 1.3 million times.
Yeah. You know what? That's a very good over-under in Vegas. But you have to go 1.3 and $1.5 million.
To get the bet.
Yeah.
So he goes around the corner, and there's a spread of muffins, hotel lox and bagels and shit, and no one goes over there. So I go over and say, "Hey, 10 years ago I had Thanksgiving with you. We were at the Weitzman. It was like a lawyer, and we didn't interact much, but we were both playing pool." And he goes, "Oh yes. Do you want to talk about the scripts?" And I go, "Yeah, you're talking. It's going to air at halftime, and you're telling everybody that you love the tweets." And I guess the ESPN's going to put the tweets on the screen behind you, on the green screen. He goes, And I said, I think it'd be funny if you said, "I really love those," and I start doing him to him, which I'm sure you've experienced, but for me it was new. "Really good tweets out there, thank you. And especially some of your retweets." And he goes, "What is a retweet?" And I go, "A retweet, they just hit a button and it resends it." And he goes, So there's no skill involved in the retweet, therefore it's funny. And I said, exactly. He goes, okay, we do that.
Very Austrian efficiency.
And he did the bit, and I said, is there any story about Johnny Knoxville? Like maybe you had to kick him in the nuts every morning to get him excited for the part. And he goes, that's another funny one. I'll do that. So he goes out on the prompter. We never talked about it again. He goes, can I tell you all a story? It was great to work with Johnny Knoxville. But each morning, he really sells the. But each morning he would come to me and say, kick me in the nuts. Kick me in the nuts. I said, are you sure, Johnny Knoxville? Which he says the full name.
Of course.
Are you sure, Johnny Knoxville, that you want me to kick you in the nuts? So I kicked him in the nuts. And then he kind of looks over at me like, was that good?
You're like, yeah, it'll never see the light of day, but it's great.
It was fun.
That's awesome that he was a good team player. And he's got that big-ass bus, and then he got his nanny pregnant.
Yeah.
What is it with celebrities? They're always having sex with the nannies.
I think that says a lot about the human condition of man, of the male species.
You're a married man. Yeah, I mean...
I'm twice married.
See?
Twice married.
Twice bitten, once shy. How's it go?
No regrets.
IamComicMovie.com. I am roadcomicmovie.com, right?
IamRoadComic.com.
Oh.
Just I Am Road Comic. See, it's
sad
very
on my reading
confusing
glasses.
because...
I'm out of whack.
Yeah, there's I Am Comic, my ode to stand-up comedy, which you should have been in. That's a documentary about the art and occupational hazards of being a comedian, right? Everyone from Jeff Foxworthy to Janine Garofalo.
Ask me what the occupational hazards are.
What's the occupational hazards of being a comedian?
None. There's none.
There's none at all?
No. The occupational hazards are human being hazards that no matter where you work, you're going to carry those with you whatsoever. But when you get on an airplane, you land someplace, and there's 2,000 people waiting for you to go out on stage, and they had their tickets a month ago, and they can't fucking wait for you to walk on stage and say shit that you already know what it is and impressions that you already know how they go. Nothing is left to chance because you've been doing it for 28 years. And then when you're done, somebody hands you a check and says, I'll pick you up at 5 o'clock in the morning. I'll make sure you get on the airplane safely so you can go back to your family. If you fuck that up, you have rocks in your head.
Still a few tickets only left in Denver. Check the website, jmohr.com, right?
Let's move. Yeah,
we got to get Denver sold out. It's close.
Denver will be fine. Comedy Works will be fine. Ontario is a tough hustle because it's a more urban market.
Right.
Ontario, Inland Empire.
Do you change your act for the urban audience?
I don't really ever get an urban audience. That's why I stopped doing like Hot 97 FM. What's up? This your boy Sway hanging with Jay Mohr, man. You crazy. He just crazy, man.
Urban for the listener is code for black. And we can say that, right? They know that urban means black.
African American.
African American.
I saw Buddy Hackett at Avery Fisher Hall, and he was talking to a guy in the audience. And he goes,
"Would you take a time machine to get there?"
No, I was with him. It was a very long time. He goes, sitting here looking at a black guy. He's in the front row. Two episodes in a row. I'm doing Hackett. And the guy made it. This is 1999, 2000, right on Action. And the guy goes, African American. Like you corrected him.
Oh, yeah.
And I goes, excuse me, pal? And he goes, African American. I'm African American. The guy's in a suit, classy guy. And Hank goes, oh, you're African American? I'm sorry. He's African. Can I tell you something? You look black. Fucking. It was like somebody pulled the pin on a grenade and just tossed it off the goddamn balcony the way that place exploded. And just off the cuff.
Funny.
You look black. Yeah, it's urban in Ontario, but there's a lot of MMA affliction t-shirt guys, khaki shirts and flip-flops. They got the pickup trucks with the little silhouettes of their family. Calvin and Hobbes kneeling at a grave.
I didn't give you props for your run on There Are No Occupational Hazards. I used it as a hook to sell that movie. But really, it's a great privilege, I think, to be a comedian.
There's a lot of fun. There's human being hazards.
But there's
if you're a policeman, there's an occupational hazard because somebody's going to take out a gun eventually and try to shoot you to kill you. That's why they wear bulletproof vests every day. And they will get suspended if they don't wear a vest that keeps bullets from going through the rib cage and damaging organs. Whoa, Brady, where do you think you're going without the Kevlar? You're on suspension, buddy. Stand-up comedy, what? you stay in a hotel someplace, you order room service, you sleep till 1 o'clock. You watch Sports Center, you order a club sandwich, and then you go, you know what? I don't go to work. You work an hour a night. So I think it's human being hazards. People have hazards as the minefield of their own psyche, ego, and superego, and their ids and their mores and their beliefs. No matter what job you have, you take that with you. Like the only Zen you find on the mountaintop is the Zen you bring up there. So the only occupational hazard at your occupation, unless you're a goddamn policeman or a firefighter or a Marine.
Someone in harm's way.
Yeah. Your job is to spread an emotion of joy. It is the most absurd thing we do. There are no sorrow rooms. I mean, yeah, there's Morrissey concerts, but there's no... like anybody else, I'm only human and I don't know.
There's a great documentary. Are you familiar? There's a wrestler named Colt Cabana.
Yeah, he's got a podcast.
He's got a podcast. He's got a movie he's in. He's in 2 movies. It's the Wrestler's Road Diary and the Wrestling Road Diaries 2. And I just watched it the other night. We became friends on the Twitter. And it's the parallels between stand-up comedy, working the road, and being a wrestler at...
They are road comics, the way Maron intended it.
Yeah. They have the joy of going to a town and putting on a show for these people that appreciate that they came to their small town. And I think a lot of that happens with stand-up, too. When you go to Ontario... When Jay Mohr goes to Ontario...
Go on.
They go, wow, we're so happy that he came to Ontario. He could have gone to Riverside to the bigger auditorium.
Or just stayed at home.
And done the podcast.
As Russell Brand said in Forgetting Sarah Marshall, I was going to go out there, but then I just sort of just went on living my life. When John Hill wants him to listen to his band's demo. Yes. Oh, yeah, you did give me the DVD, right? But then I just kind of went on living my life. The best fucking, I didn't listen to your fucking demo line ever. I think stand-up comedy is the greatest job in the world, and I'm surprised you tapped out because you're really funny. You've always, it's true.
It's good. It's good to.
I'm not shining your balls. You wouldn't be here. I don't have to.
Yeah, no, I understand.
Give a shit about.
Yeah. By the way, Billy Bob was on Sports Center. Just to tie those two things together. This is recently, like last football season. Didn't plug a movie. Didn't plug a show. Just talked about football.
Wouldn't you?
I loved it, and I don't even follow.
I think
football.
I'd rather be on Sports Center than be governor.
But what was great was the host said, "Well, you must have a movie you want to plug. You must have a show." And he goes, "Look, I know a lot of Hollywood types come on the shows and they do whatever they can to plug it, but I just want to talk about football." And he was so knowledgeable. I mean, he could have been making it up, but I don't think he was.
I don't think so.
And he talked about who had the best arm, who was right. Oh, it was great.
You get that arm slot, man. I just slipped into McConaughey.
Oh, my gosh.
You get that arm slot, man.
Get this. So I show my stepdaughters Zoolander. Okay. You know the Ben Stiller movie, right? With
yes.
But who plays Hansel, the blonde? Owen Wilson. Owen Wilson, thank you.
Bane of my existence, movie-wise.
Really?
Yeah. He's real famous. It's like, Jay, you want to come in and read for the 5th time while we dot the I's and cross the T's on Owen Wilson's contract?
In case it didn't work out?
Yeah, it's like, Jesus Christ, my nose is not shaped like a penis. Hire me.
You can change that, though. They have surgeries.
Is there a place I can go?
There's a nose penis surgery.
Maybe Demi Moore could do it with the clay. Just give me like a little cock nose.
Roger Kabler. Roger Kabler has a fake De Niro nose. He could put an Owen Wilson nose on you.
Not a bad idea. So, Sports Center, Billy Bob. McConaughey.
McConaughey. Okay. So Zoolander made probably 10 years ago, at least. And it's on the Netflix, and we're going through. I go, oh, girls, you'll love this. It's so funny. First of all, they did not think it was funny. But I love that movie. And Matthew McConaughey's first lines in the movie, he arrives at a red carpet on one of those Razor scooters, and he goes, all right, all right, all right. Just like McConaughey.
That's his.
At the Oscar
I'll be back.
Yes. But I didn't. I thought it was McConaughey's thing. But McConaughey's doing Zoolander.
No.
Yeah.
Because he did it in Dazed and Confused. He did it way before.
He did all right, all right, all right.
Oh, fuck yeah. All right, all right, all right. You got a joint? No. Be a lot cooler if you did.
The girls keep getting younger, and I'm staying the same. Oh, I didn't know. So wait, I tripped out. So Zoolander was spoofing the McConaughey, and they're both from Texas and all.
Yeah.
Oh, I feel
Stiller works
stupid.
hard, man. I remember I was going to Crunch Gym in West Hollywood because I like to go to the steam room and check out cranks. And he was at Permanent Midnight, that movie where he had to play like a guy like the famous TV writer. But he was like so smoked out. He had to lose like a ton of weight. And I remember like I was kind of working out and I would just see Ben Stiller at the gym every day. And like 3 weeks went by. I'm like, wow, he's like disappearing. And then the rest
American
of me,
Psycho.
Like that. I literally went like, I wonder if he's cutting weight. I'm like, he's fucking an actor, stupid. He's not a wrestler. And I go, what are you working on? And I had read for Permanent Midnight. And then he told me he got Permanent Midnight. And there's some guys that when you find out that they got the part, you're like really happy. And Ben Stiller, if you've ever seen the original Ben Stiller show, not the one on Fox.
The one on MTV.
Just him and Jeff Kahn.
Oh, yes. Brilliant.
Never in the world will anyone top how funny that was.
Let's bring it around. He did an LL Cool J spoof of like going back to Cali that was spot on shot for shot the video, but funny.
Not Colin Quinn's going back to Brooklyn?
Was it Colin Quinn's going
back to Brooklyn?
Yeah.
Brooklyn.
I don't think so. But Ben Stiller directed it.
Yes, he
the
did.
Point.
And Ben Stiller, on the Ben Stiller show with Jeff Kahn, you guys got to find this somehow. You just got to take two guys that have been in comedy, combined 60 years, and trust us, no sketch show. The State, Candy for Stranger, or whatever the fuck it's called, Saturday Night Live. It was literally Ben Stiller and Jeff Kahn, and they did everything. And the specialty was mashing movies like Rain Man and Star Trek at the same time.
I give him
Spock
credit.
Was Rain Man.
I give Ben Stiller and Jeff Kahn the credit for what became the Billy Crystal at the Oscars opening movie spoofs.
You're right.
Because really Ben Stiller did that before, where he would take. I think they even took shots that they stole from, a VHS or whatever back in the day, and cut in like instead of they wouldn't shoot an overhead shot of New York from a plane, they would just steal the shot or take it from a video, and then they would cut in their own shit. Yeah.
I remember Ben Stiller when they did U2, they reenacted the "Where the Streets Have No Name" video
in Vegas.
No, it was on the roof. Sorry, it was on the rooftop. That's still haven't found what I'm looking for. It was on the rooftop in like Brooklyn, and they just did it. They did it like rattle and hum exactly.
Yeah.
And I forget who the interviewer was, but he was really perfect and quick. He played like a Daniel Lanois type interviewer. And he's like, we're running out of like basically everyone had problems, and he just kept telling everybody like, is tape expensive? He's like, nah, it's the cheapest thing. Let's just keep going. And then I remember Ben Stiller as Bono on the roof of this. It was the same building that U2 did it, the live one, like the Beatles did at the Apple building. And then my friend John O'Donohue, who's a real retired cop, and now he's an actor, he played the cop, like going to tell him like you got to unplug it, and it's just Ben Stiller going, they're trying to shut us down. And he goes on, they're trying to shut us down. And then John O'Donohue just goes, there's nobody down there. Who are you talking to? And they just cut the street. It's completely empty. And he's like, hey. And then he goes to hug John O'Donohue, and he goes, whoa, son, never put your hands on a police officer, right? It's like,
funny.
I'm not doing it any justice, but you just have to watch the show to believe us. So I am Road Comic.
I am Road Comic.
$5 on I am Road
right
Comic.
now. Shamrock Shake. It's going to go away. It's not going to be here forever.
Oh, don't say it. What about Fudgy the Whale?
Who's Fudgy the Whale?
Oh, Carvel ice cream?
Oh, yeah, Cookie Puss.
Cookie Puss.
Yeah, that was a back east thing.
Yeah, David Tell had the best joke about that. He goes, they had one pie mold for all the cakes. So like it'd be Cookie Puss, and then on St. Patrick's Day it was Cookie Opus. And then on Mother's Day, Oedipus. Dear Mommy, I love you more than you know.
Funny.
The great
funny.
David Tell. Oh, another veteran in the Mohr.
How many
podcast.
dates a year do you do?
I do about 100 dates. 100 shows, I should say. Because sometimes there's 5 shows in one day. You know what I mean? Like when I go to Ontario, I'll do like 2 shows Friday, 2 shows Saturday, and a show Sunday.
Right.
So I do about 100 shows. I was just in Cincinnati. Edmonton was fun.
Weekends only, right?
No.
Maybe a Thursday?
No, that's what's great about the radio show on J Mohr Sports is if there's a radio station, I have 150 affiliates, a little more than that. So like I went to Cincinnati, so I just did my radio show Thursday, Friday in Cincinnati. So if I have a corporate show, I'll take the red eye. I'll wake up at ass crack and I'll just do my radio show and then just do the corporate at night and come home so I don't miss any time. Because I hate taking days off.
I love the red eye. I'm taking a red eye tonight.
I like the red eye because I haven't smoked pot in 3 years. And if you want to know, if you've never smoked pot and you want to know what it feels like, take a red eye, sleep for 2 hours, and then have 3 days of meetings. And about the second day, you're going to be like, are we underwater? What floor are we on? And did it go elevator, go down or up?
Why did you quit smoking pot?
I was helping a lot of other people with a certain fellowship that I frequent.
Yeah.
And I was smoking pot, and it was not a problem for me. But I didn't want anybody to say, you do it. Because you go, no, you can't. You can't smoke pot. You can't. You have to surrender.
Yeah.
Like, you're done. This is over. And I didn't want to be a hypocrite, so I stopped. And Adam Ferrara was on, and it was this big revelation. He goes, so how long has it been since you had pot? And I go, it's been about 2 years. He goes, so do you miss it? I go, I haven't really thought about it. He goes, so then it wasn't a problem. I'm like, God damn it.
I quit. My younger son had a problem with it.
The problem was you kept buying it off him.
I kept buying it from him and his friends. No, but it's so powerful now.
It's nuts. You're sitting on the toilet, taking your own pulse, going, why do I have diarrhea and why is my heart racing? Because I had 2 hits of a joint.
I had a hit
that punched me in the chest.
Yeah, I had a hit recently, and I swear to God, I ended up on the Himalayas, and I had to go in. I was at a theater, and they had a little patio for an after show party. I took 1 hit, and I had to go sit in the empty theater with my dead phone and pretend like I was texting. Because I just couldn't talk to anybody. Mid-conversation.
And then it gives you like horrible anxiety.
And I was going, this is not fun.
What's your go-to when you're too high? Is that it? Isolate and fake phone?
Yeah. Well, it is now.
Shower.
Really?
Got to get in the shower. Somehow, like, that's going to make everything okay.
The edibles I like.
Huh?
The edibles I like. But
these are the animals.
The edibles. The edible weed. But it's just a little, like, if I go to the dispensary, which is so weird. The one thing I miss from when pot was not legal to buy at a dispensary is the dealer chit-chat for like 45 minutes trying to get them to hurry the sale up. No, really, tell me more.
I used to do a bit about that, but it never worked.
It didn't work?
I used to say, you ever notice whoever like you said, now you just go buy it.
It's like a Slurpee.
Yeah. It's like 12-ounce cans of fucking Coca-Cola at 7-Eleven. Or I could have just let your Slurpee, it went in. I should have just left the basket alone. I apologize. Like,
the comedy basket.
Do over. I'm shooting it again. But like I used to say, if you notice the guy that has the pot takes so fucking long with it, like, bro, I don't mind a few seeds. I've been in your apartment for an hour, and your fucking cat's on my lap, and it's making its hands go back and forth on my knee. It's freaking me out.
You don't have to tell me about the lizard people anymore.
Just roll it.
It
doesn't have to be that clean. You know what? I'll clean it. I would like an eighth. You gave me a fair price. How about you just give me the eighth in a little Ziploc bag? I'll put that in my pocket. But you know what? We will play a game of Madden. But I don't want you having the album cover for fucking Nazareth, making sure it's cleaner than the goddamn driven snow. You know, just a few seeds and stems. I'm all right. I'd much rather have seeds in my pot and be out of your apartment
home
with fucking a gun rack and your touchdown frisbee championship or whatever the fuck they call it.
It's much. I think life without it is fine. It's
fun with it though.
It's fun with it as a recreation.
Yeah. The thing with here's the thing with pot. You're not like Bob Geldof tried to kill himself with pot and he couldn't pull it off.
Yeah.
Like you can't.
Booze is sloppy. People get sloppy. People get in fights. People wreck cars.
Watch that show Jail or any show where they
Yeah.
intake prisoners. It's just drunk people swinging at cops.
Yeah.
If you and I, let's say we're baked out of our fucking heads, way over the legal limit. I don't know if they've ever computed what that would be. And the cop goes, "I'm going to need you guys to move it along." We're like, "Wow, you know what? I don't want to fucking ruin this guy's night. Let's get out of here." No skateboarding in the bank parking lot. Apparently, I guess we'll move it along. But drunk guys are like, "Why? We're not fucking doing anything." Fucking
cop.
This is my new character. It's
I like
concert
that guy.
Where are you guys going next?
The eyes are squinty, listener.
Yeah.
The hair,
and
hair
I
is
flip my
shaky.
hair like Bieber,
Yeah,
man.
It's kind of
Bro, that was pretty tight, man. Bass solo. Balls, brah. All right, go see I Am Road Comic.
Oh, thanks for having me.
.com. It's $5, and really Jordan Brady nails it. You know how you know he nails it is to the amount of comics that are in it, not named Jay Mohr. There are so many. Another one.
I Am Mimic. You're going to be an I Am Mimic.
Yeah, of course. I want Tracy Morgan to be in there and get your movie pregnant. Yeah. I got like 4 people I know that if they would just get famous, I could just be the next. Yes. Like Barry Katz. Colin needs to be a little more. All right. Don't make a big deal out of it. Guy makes a documentary about people going to work. All right, how you do? You know?
That's spooky.
Of course it is. You know, that's why it's an impression. That one gives me wrinkles on my forehead, and it's not too far away from Harvey Keitel. They're the same man.
Any women? Do you do any women?
Do I do women? Barefoot Contessa?
I don't know Barefoot
Contessa. Food Network?
Oh.
Don't tell Jeffrey. Don't get me started on my omelet party. The listeners have already heard these, and they deluge me with tweets like, all you do is fucking shoehorn your impressions into the episodes.
No, but I'm asking. Listeners, I'm asking.
I do more blacks than whites, I think.
African Americans.
They look black. Go see I Am Road comic. There are a lot of great comics. I'm so happy you got my guy Alonzo Bowden in there, one of the best joke writers.
Oh, Alonzo.
Guy's a machine.
Can I tell you something?
Please.
I made this movie with a camcorder. Some of it looks like shit. My commercials, top shelf. They look great. They're on TV.
Somebody else's money.
It's someone else's money, and it's astronomically more money, right? So this is me with a camcorder running around, and I have a little microphone I put on the comedians and everything. The last guy that I interviewed was Alonzo Bowden. He meets me at a cafe in the Valley, and he is delivering comedy gold. Like I know with every question, he's giving me a concise soundbite with a joke in it, right?
Yeah.
And I go home, and I start to take the little chip out, and I go, oh, I record it to the hard drive this time instead of the little memory card. As soon as I turned on the camera, it went zzz, and it froze, and it wouldn't work. The battery didn't work, the AC power, nothing. I take it apart thinking there's a hard drive in there. I can somehow hook it to my computer. I can get the footage off. And I took the housing off of the camcorder, and I took the battery off, and I saw a capacitor. Is that what it is? And I thought, maybe this is dangerous. A fucking shock went through my arms up to my nipples, and I screamed and dropped it. So then I went and got rubber gloves from under the sink. You know, the dishwashing gloves.
Yeah.
And I start trying to find this hard drive. Nothing. So I have to call Alonzo up and say, hey, I lost the comedy gold. And he said, so we got to do it again? Okay.
I
went and bought a camera.
And by the way, out of all the comics in that movie, that's the guy you wanted to go out on.
Oh, he was so fucking cool.
And he'll have better jokes the next time.
It was better, and it was even better. But when you come home and you tell your wife, like I'm texting on the way home going, Alonzo was comedy gold. And because he was last, and this will intrigue you, Angela, for the... Audrey, I apologize. Audrey, for the documentarian in you. When the last person you interview, you know holes in the story that you have to fill. So you can be very succinct with the questions.
You lead them questions
the
to fill
first
the
guy,
holes.
you're doing an hour interview trying to get a couple of minutes. The last guy, you just go, hey, tell me about the road. Tell me about the fried food.
Tell me about the part of my movie that's missing. Go.
Yeah. And incorporate my question into your answer.
Yeah.
So Alonzo he became the glue throughout the film, and I lost it. And I'm texting my wife going, comedy gold. And he said, yeah, we got to do it again. Come on over. And we did it again. I went and bought a camera.
Shut up. Sorry.
Went and bought a camera. Went straight from there, like to my office for enough time to charge the battery. Went to Alonzo's, and he nails it. He's so funny.
Same cafe?
No. Went to his house.
I like that you were shocked up to your nipples from the fingertips.
Yeah.
I've never heard
went
anybody
around.
explain it that way, and it's awesome.
It went up around the elbow.
From a little
over
camcorder?
over the huge bicep, and then down to the
You got
nipple.
some pipes on you, dude.
Yeah.
No wonder they
Gun
invited
club.
you to the Slam Dance Film Festival. I Am Road comic is going to be making the rounds at all, or is it just now people just got to buy it?
No, it's going to make the rounds. It's going to make the rounds.
Warriors Unite. I'm telling you, I put my name on this shit. This guy makes good documentaries, and all we talk about when the comics are in here, you guys love when me and Barry Katz are breaking down comedy to like an elemental level, to a cellular level. Jordan Brady has made 2 documentaries where he hits it out of the park. And just support it and go buy it. All right.
I'd love for your listeners to tweet and email in what they think Mark Maron's point of view statement was about.
What is a fucking point of view in comedy?
It
makes me like angry.
No, it shouldn't. It shouldn't.
Not angry. It's like, what's your point of view? What?
No,
what are you fucking Lenny Bruce? Are you fighting Vietnam?
No, I think you're too literal with the point of view. I think it means a personality and a honed. You know how you find your comedic voice?
In town.
Do you accept
I'm going
that?
on stage. We're going to have a goddamn party for an hour and a half. It's going to be a meet and greet. Is that a point of view?
Yes, it's Jay Mohr's point of view. It's Jay Mohr's comedic voice that he has honed over the years. But it is the personality you have cultivated through your television shows, your movies.
Well, it's me. I'm
singled out.
It's literally Dr. Drew. I know it's no ID. He's got to protect himself in case I'm fucking Steven Adler.
Okay.
So my point of view is I don't know what it is, but look. People tweet at your goddamn.
IamRoadComic.com.
No, tweet.
Oh, tweet. Yeah.
At IamComicMovie. That's Jordan Brady.
Movie.
It's confusing.
Should I just have like a Jordan Brady Twitter? That would.
Who cares?
I'm not in that
social
business.
media. Why? So people tell you put on weight and you're going bald.
Yeah. No, the hair's good.
No, I meant me.
Because
mine looks like a miniature.
You look good though.
I feel good.
You look good
until I check Twitter.
And then they tell you?
Oh, I block fucking 20 people a day. I've made Twitter just a Tower of Babel of washing my balls. Someone goes like, yeah, I didn't really like that movie. Blocked. Nope. I just check my Twitter.
You don't need to listen to that.
Move the sun, Elvis. Show us some of your karate, Elvis.
Yeah.
That's my Memphis Mafia. It's Twitter. I don't know why I said that like a New York Joe. That's my Memphis Mafia. What do you need? Grass? Uppers? Downers? Screamers? You like this gun? Put a bullet through the hull of a Cadillac. Stop it at 100 yards. I got quality. Easy Andy.
You could do a Billy Bob. I think you should work on that.
I'd have to look at the game tape, as Tracy Morgan was saying, get after it. Look, how about this? Let's have a fun exercise. I got a great exercise for I Am Mimic.
Tell me.
You give me 5 names, because I'm on record as saying I cannot learn an impression.
What do you mean?
I either do it right away, or I don't do it.
You don't study in the mirror and all that?
Can't do it. It either comes right out of me, or it's never happening. Not now, but for the movie. Or
for the movie.
Or you can tweet who are 5 people you want Jay to imitate.
Gotcha.
And you can get a lot of interaction with the Jay Mohr Sports and the More Stories podcast people.
I love it. I used to do a Tim Gunn. Do you know who he is? He was on the
Make It Work, Fashion Forward. I love Tim Gunn.
What I loved about Tim Gunn is he would suck the contestant in like he was their friend.
To him.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
No, he would go like, "What is this right here? Are you sure about that? Or really?
Do
you really? I mean, you want to go the plaid with the frilly thing down here? I don't know, but I do know I love it." Like he'd put the twist on it.
He'd fold his arms and he'd have a scowl. And
What's going on here?
Are you sure that's not too matchy? And you go, "I don't think so." And he'd say, "I don't think so either." Make it work.
He would tap them like that.
I love Tim Gunn. All right. I am roadcomic.com. $5.
Soon to be IamMimic.org.
Look,
we're going to give it to charity.
Don't confuse them.
IamMimic.org. We're going to give all the money to charity. Not all the money,
You're
but
paying me, goddammit. Listen, here's the thing.
It says every comedian will tell you there are no locker rooms in the basement of the club where you would keep your piano key tie.
Yeah.
Or puffy jacket.
I just like that Sally Field comes out of nowhere and she becomes the funniest human being alive and gets like 14 Tonight Show appearances in about 2.5 weeks. Like, hey, man, when you got it, you got it.
Well, she was pent up inside. She had a lot of comedy to unleash. And the local club, provided her the outlet.
And a locker.
For
a piano key tie. It is amazing when you look back. Jordan Brady at I Am Comic Movie is his Twitter. Most people have their name as their Twitter account, not Jordan Brady. No. Jordan Brady's all about the work.
Well, there was a first movie called I Am Comic that made a little bit of a splash, and this is somewhat of a follow-up, but I didn't want to start a new Twitter handle.
Right. Why would you?
You wouldn't. You'd
but
be a
you
big
don't feel
diss
the
to
need
the followers.
You don't feel the need to have like just Jordan Brady, like to get the attention for yourself.
No, I'd be lying to you if I said I'm out of the Jordan Brady game because I'm always selling Jordan Brady. But I'm about the product.
Break it down, brother.
I'm about the product.
You can see Jordan Brady at the Crenshaw swap meet selling Jordan Brady merch. Hey, man, Jordan Brady T-shirts, 2 for $5. Come on.
2 for $5. On the way out, the flea market, we're really moving them. They're like 4 for $1.
Yeah, it depends if you win or lose the game. If you got back-to-back Jordan Brady championship T-shirts, instead of shipping them to a third world country, you're like, look, I'll just give you $1 a piece. Have at it.
We just went to my wife and I went to the Jurassic 5 concert, hip-hop band.
Yeah, they're from Crescent Heights down there.
Oh, it was a great show. And on the way out, the shirts were 2 for $10.
I did a joke in my act about Snoop. Actually, my wife wrote the joke in my act. She writes well more than half of it. It's nice when you're sleeping with the writer.
Wow, that's good.
She said Snoop had to change his name because he changed his name to Snoop Lion. Remember?
I remember.
But
he went through his reggae phase
in Jamaica, man. That's just alarms in the house.
It's like
so
a children's toy.
Yeah,
just went off.
It's good.
I love it.
But she said he had to change his name back because probably the first time he took the stage, it was hard to go, roar, roar, Snoop Lion's in the motherfucking house, roar, and all the backup guys got to learn the new lyrics, roar.
6 in the morning.
I asked her if she wanted to go see Snoop. She said, yes, but I need 2 seats. And I said, why? She said, 1 for me and 1 for my hands because I'll be waving them like I just don't care.
Oh, that's funny.
Rap concerts start really late. Did Jurassic 5 get off on time?
Yeah, they did because it was at the Greek.
Oh,
and they kick you out of the neighborhood fast.
It's a curfew.
Last summer I took. I know you had Ice Cube on the show. That was a great podcast. Listeners, you can go back and hear that one if you.
Damn straight. Get that More Stories app.
Oh man, and just the fact that you had Ice Cube. That's a great guest.
We did a movie together, and he was like the hardest working man I saw. Like everything you think you know about the guy. Like, I'm in my trailer, and then I go, like, I worked a little bit because I just played, like, his friend. The easiest job in the world in show business, you know this because now you're a director, is to play the friend.
The friend is the best.
Someone's in there for 2 months, every day, 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. You show up for 6 days, bang out all your scenes, and you smoke a ton of grass in Vancouver.
That's the life of the best friend.
That's what I did in that movie. And I remember I got so high in my hotel room in Vancouver, I thought, you know what? No one's ever written a book about what it's like to just sit in a movie, the waiting, the process. And I'm here with Ice Cube from NWA. This is I'm going to write. So I'm going to take a couple hits. This is back in the day, you know. And I got pretty baked. I didn't realize how baked I was. Try spelling Canada when you're high. Way hard. It's always Canada. And I defy you to get stoned and spell Cincinnati if you're not from there. Even if you're from northern Kentucky. Cincinnati's a tough hustle baked. I came back to my trailer the next day. I wrote for like 3 hours. I'm like, this is going to be the book that is like the first behind-the-scenes, gritty, grimy. This is what it's about. And I go to my trailer, I open my laptop, and it was literally 1 paragraph. The whole thing was underlined red, spell check.
That's hilarious.
3 hours. It was like, I'm in Canada.
You wrote high, but you edited sober, like Hemingway.
Yeah, I was exactly like Hemingway because right after that, I fished in Puget Sound, and then I blew my brains out.
Right,
and you're speaking to the ghost. I rose on the 3rd day like Christ.
You are.
Hello, podcast fans. Adam Carolla here. I'm leading the fight against patent trolls who are threatening this medium. It's not about me. It's about the podcast you're listening to right now. If I go down, this show could be next. Visit fundanything.com/patent troll for more information on how you can keep podcasting alive. Thank you and mahalo.
This episode of More Stories is sponsored by Nature Box. That's right, Mohrers. Order great tasting, healthy snacks right to your door. Forget the vending machine and get in shape for summer with healthy, delicious treats like everything bagel sticks. Support this podcast and get half off your first month. Go to naturebox.com/MOHR, naturebox.com/more.
When shopping for car insurance, consider this. Geico has been saving people money on car insurance for over 75 years. So if you're serious about savings, it's simple. Go to geico.com. After 75 years, they know how to save you money.
Put your name on it. Just put your name on it. That's all I say. Be a man or a woman. Put your name on it.
Well, I'd like to hear about it, potheads.
How the fuck you gonna know how to be great if you don't study greatness? Look at the game tape.
Donuts.
If you want a battle, it's either that you will or you won't. You know, you're not a bad-looking man, Mr. Gals.
But you are, Blanche. You are in that chair.
There's something wrong with us. Something very, very wrong with us.
Hey, man!
Are you guys done being nerds now?
We're done.
Jordan Brady on More Stories podcast. Audrey
flattered.
are flattered.
Flattered, man. Yeah.
Well, I'm flattered. I want to push this movie, I Am Road comic that's coming out because it's high time somebody pointed out life on the road for comics. Nobody. I mean, the movie Punchline, they had like lockers.
That's what everyone very Christ-like. You're not just a friend though in the movies. You're the power friend.
I like that.
You know what I mean? Because you have a presence. I'm not bullshitting. I've watched your career since we were stand-up comedians back in the day.
Yeah.
And I've always been so happy when I see someone from our graduating class of the club scene go on to do great things. And you went straight to the top. You hit the mother lode, man. It's great. And so I'm so happy for you.
Thanks.
And your presence on screen. And sometimes playing a prick. Right? Sometimes playing.
Yeah, a lot of the time. I almost became the next Rutger Hauer. I had to tap out and join Ghost Whisperer to cobble the female audience back to think I'm a nice guy.
But what a great time. You know, who was it? David Leisure. I did an episode of a show once, a sitcom. And he was
Joey Suzu.
Joey Suzu, yeah. He was on, it was like Empty Nest. This is going back in the 80s or 90s. And he was the friend on a sitcom, which was like the perennial great gig. It wasn't just 6 weeks on a movie or 6 days on a movie and leave. It was season after season of just hanging out. He had one of those solo flexes in his dressing room. He had things delivered. He was reading books and scripts.
Yeah.
And it was, you could have a whole nother life.
Yeah.
They knock on your door, you go do your line, you go back.
If you're going to be on a sitcom, you definitely want to be Larry, not Jack.
Yeah.
You want to be Larry and go, hey, I got some flight attendants upstairs, Jack. And then Jack has to do that episode where there's that weird misunderstanding between him and Chrissy on Three's Company?
I'm not recalling the episode.
That one?
That one time?
Or that episode of Dr. Phil where he does country homespun wisdom to solve a couple's problems. You know, it always made me crazy when I watched Three's Company. All Jack Tripper wanted was pussy. Like, the whole thing was pussy, 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 pussy. Then he's out to eat, and a lady touches his knee under the table. He goes, he's got to figure out a way to, like, sneak out through the fucking air conditioning shaft.
What I like
it's
best
coming.
is you touch my knee here on the podcast to be into the character.
Well, I'm trying to have sex with Jordan Brady because he's a big movie maker.
I love it.
You got what I like about you coming on the More Stories podcast is Jordan Brady at I Am Comic Movie makes really good movies, but these documentaries, it's got to be weird to go. First of all, the transition from stand-up comic to director, why? You were a really good stand-up comic, so I never understood why
nice.
Well, I'm being serious, and I never knew why you tapped out.
I don't know, man. I think I don't think I was good enough at the level of the greats, and I started hosting television shows and directing on shows, and I wrote a movie and just sort of transitioned behind the camera, and I really enjoy it.
But how do you, like, the thought
it wasn't like I woke up one day and went, no more stand-up for me. I shall be a director.
Show business let you know.
Yeah, it just happened over the course of a few years.
There's
not like a wheel with all these different careers on it. I'm going to spin the wheel and pick a new career.
Right. But you just say transition to directing like it's nothing. But the idea of directing, to me, I'm like, oh my God, I don't know what I'm doing. I got to get a great cinematographer to cover my ass. I got to get a unit production manager to keep everything in budget. I need somebody from the studio standing over my shoulder, telling me when I'm running out of time. So how do you go from comic? Like, what was the first thing you directed? How does that happen?
Around, I think you and I both did some MTV stuff.
Yeah.
Back in the day.
I did Lip Service.
Lip Service.
Yeah.
I love Lip Service.
It was a fun
I
gig.
mean, that was a hit, man. People loved going on and making
like
a fool of themselves.
15-year-old Asian girls lip sync the songs they don't know. That's the show. That's the show for you.
So then I did some promos when I was at MTV. And then Comedy Central, I did some promos, and I did a kids show at NBC, and I started directing that. And I worked with even just journeyman cinematographers who pointed the way and said, oh, this is what you got to do. And then you start editing shit. Because when you're starting, one, no one will write for you. And no one will edit for you. Like if you're on the show, you can get someone to shoot it. So I had to work hard. I mean, I spent a lot of hours in the editing room and learning how to edit. Because that was the way to learn how to put a story together as a director.
And you had a lot of at-bats, too. I mean, you talk about The Friend. I mean, you were on Parker Lewis Can't Lose, for crying out loud.
Oh, wow.
You've been on a lot of shows. That's one off the top of my head.
That is crazy.
But, I mean, you did do a lot of, like, best friend stuff.
I did a lot of stuff. Parker Lewis was my first time playing.